Hi, Monique Ruffin here. I'm in Los Angeles, and it's beautiful, clear afternoon, and the sky is blue, and the little breeze is blowing, and it's gorgeous here. So today, the Senate was able to defeat a bill that was put forth by Senator Roy Blunt, an amendment to the transportation legislation of all things that would have given employers the right to deny all sorts of coverage to women based on consciousness. There was the thing that was happening before where they were saying if an employer was a religious organization like the Catholic Church, for instance, they could freedom of religion would allow them to opt out of this contraception mandate. But Roy Blunt's bill would have said that any organization could deny women access to contraception just because they wanted to. So President Barack Obama, in his healthcare plan, has a portion called the Affordable Care Act, and that is an aspect that offers women preventive care like contraception, breast exams, prenatal testing, things that would really empower us in our lives and our health and just give us what a lot of women don't have, because women often can't afford, especially if they're single parents, they can't afford a lot of this care. And historically, insurance companies have been able to deny women basic things like, prenatal care, saying that it's a pre-existing condition. So President Barack Obama's new healthcare plan levels the playing field and really allows women to have as much access to the care that they need in order to live healthy, productive lives as they can. So it's really good that this bill was defeated. Yay for the Senate. I've been getting emails, and if you are following this issue, from all sorts of organizations, from MoveOn.org, from MomsMoveOn.org, from the Democratic Convention, National Convention. They've raised millions of dollars in support of women's rights. So as we can see, women are really taking this seriously and coming out in support of our issues. And there have been so many of them that have been up on the chopping block lately, like what's going on in Virginia, this bill that's being passed or considered that would force women who are considering abortion to have a sonogram to see the child before they decide to abort. And just craziness. Like, it's just maddening. But we are really showing up for ourselves. And recently, the woman who was denied access to Representative Darrell Issa's congressional hearing on contraception has been attacked by Rush Limbaugh, of all people, who has said that if we are going to be forced to pay for your birth control pills, then we would like to see videos of you having sex. What? I'm not even going to use the words that I want to say in response to Rush Limbaugh. I am really amazed that we continue to pay attention to him, and he is so inflammatory in his language and in his ideas and perceptions. And all we need to do is just stop paying attention to him, but we don't. But what is occurring that I think that we should really take a moment to consider is that we really have an opportunity to be grateful for this dialogue. So grateful for, Rush Limbaugh, for Newt Gingrich, for Santorum and the Catholic Church, and all of the men who are coming out with the attempt to deny women's rights, because we get to see where we are. We get to see what was sort of lurking in the shadows. And, if you're out and about and you're having conversations with women, we all know that sexism sort of exists, but we've sort of bought into it in our own way. So, I can say personally myself, I have historically thought a woman who dressed provocatively, I thought she was loose or a slut, or I thought of that about myself. Like, I would think I might not want to wear this because I look sluttish, or I have judged myself and other women for our own sexual behavior and ways of being. And what we have an opportunity to do right now is to see where we are in agreement with the ideas and the perceptions that really bolster this sort of behavior and attacks on women. Where have we said yes to this? Where have we silenced ourselves? Where have we been in agreement that we need to behave a certain way in order to be acceptable? And where do we just commit atrocities against ourselves? So one of the things that Rush Limbaugh said was that this woman who's a law student at Georgetown, who was going to speak on behalf of women's rights and reproductive rights, he called her a slut, called her a prostitute, and what we know is that this is the kind of language in the past that has really shamed us into silence, where we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be known as the slut or the prostitute or the whore because that makes us bad in some way. Well, what has occurred now is that this woman, we don't know what her sexual behavior is, and guess what? It's none of our business. And her desire to speak up for reproductive rights does not assume anything about her sexual behavior. Like I said, it's none of our business. Why is it that we live in a culture and a society that really deems women as children, where we need men to make decisions for us, where we are not capable of deciding for ourselves what's right for our bodies, what's right for our lives, making decisions for how we will live and who we will be, in determining for ourselves what we decide individually as a woman, what is acceptable for ourselves? How is it that we have allowed a culture to determine what is beautiful as a woman, what is slutty behavior, what is whore-like behavior? Why is it that we are not in control of this dialogue on our own, and why have we been in agreement with it? These are the things that are most pervasive to me, because for me this stuff lies at the heart of what's occurring now. Really, the unspoken belief systems that we've bought into as women, that we need to sort of fall back in the shadows in order to get along in this culture, that we need to buy into the ideas and belief systems about what's sexy and what's not, and what body type is beautiful and what body type is not, in order for us to participate in this culture. And we have allowed this culture to determine who we are, what's beautiful, what's right, what's feminine, what's sexual, what's sensual, what's sluttish, who's a whore and who's not. And we've given over the power in our lives, is what I want to say. And so we have to be grateful for this conversation that is allowing us to see where we stand on these issues. That this conversation is sort of forcing us, like pushing us out of our comfort zone and into a dialogue with ourselves personally, individually, with one another, with our daughters, and then with the world, because we're seeing that, the world is watching us as Western women. So will we allow, a Roy Blunt or a Rick Santorum or a Rush Limbaugh, will we give them the power to decide how we treat our bodies, the decisions that we need to make? Will we let someone like a Rush Limbaugh shame Sandra Fluke or any woman into silence? Or will we stand for ourselves? Will we stand together, one another? Will we create community and connection in this issue so that we can truly, truly heal what ails this nation? And really, up till now, it's been an absence of women's voices. The thing that's fascinating to me is that women outvote men by nearly 10 million. Really, like, we put men to shame in the voting booth. And so as this next election comes up in 2012, we don't even have to, of course we're going to vote because we vote. That is what we do. But now we need to make sure and be aware of who we're voting for. We need to vote our issues. We need to vote the things that affect our lives. Vote for people who are going to support our issues, whether it be men or women. Vote for people who understand that women's issues are at the core of American issues. When women are healthy and capable of running our households and having what we need, the child care we need, the preventative care that we need, the contraceptions that we need, the access to education that we need, our communities flourish, our families flourish. It is absolutely known that when women are doing well, our societies do well. And so when we go into the voting booth in November 2012 and we vote for our president and, for Congress and senators and those in the House of Representatives, let's make sure we understand where they stand on the issues that impact us most. And let's vote our issues in support of women doing well. Not against men, but in support of women doing well, because when women do well, our society does well, and that includes men as well. So thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.